Logic for today. We can be either like a him and hunting on. We can be either like a him and hunting on. We can be either like a him and hunting on. We can be either like a...
Welcome to the Middle Seats Podcast. Why the Middle Seats? Because they're the best seats in the house. We are your hosts, Generation Offended, Toller Talks, and Lumar. How's it going, guys?
It's
It's
going.
Fantappy dozy.
Yeah, well, today we're going to talk about the controversial BAFTA Awards show here. And on a happier note, we're going to discuss the Night of the Seven Kingdoms afterwards. So, Toller, how about you give us an overview of this BAFTA situation?
This is a great way to start off a podcast episode, isn't it? Like, hi, we're Generation Offended, Toller Talks, and Lumar, and we're here to talk about racism. So, so we had the BAFTA incident, which I'm reading directly from an article here just to make sure I get all of my information correct. So, on February 22nd of 2026, the BAFTA Film Awards was held at the London's Royal Festival Hall. And we had a gentleman by the name of John Davidson, who was actually there at the award ceremony for his film. I believe it's called I Swear, which kind of documents his life. Well, when Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo, the two guys behind Sinners, in case you've seen that, went up to present the first award, he said out loud a word that rhymes with digger and maybe the Winnie the Pooh character, Tigger. And he kept the ER at the end of it, which has caused quite a bit of outrage amongst people that have the combined IQ of a Pop-Tart. So we can kind of start it off there. That's the basics of it. That's what's caused quite a bit of outrage on social media. A guy with a mental disability. Correct me if I'm wrong, if that's the wrong terminology to use, but a mental disability, something like Tourette's, which causes him to say things impulsively that he doesn't mean. Most of the time, for instance, I think he met the Queen of England, I believe, and he called her a bitch.
He told the Queen of England to, I think he said fuck the Queen, something like that.
There we go.
He was in a hospital ward and he was going through the cancer section and he saw a woman and said, you're going to die, which isn't amazing. And as you can tell, he's had a hard life because of his disability. Continue, Tola.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got it. That's kind of where we're at. So, I mean, we have a gentleman here that's suffering from Tourette's, suffering from something that makes him say things impulsively that he cannot control. He has said a multitude of offensive things to many, many people throughout his life. But yet now, all of a sudden, it's a big deal because there's a very vocal minority of a certain subsection of people that have an issue with what he said during an awards ceremony where he was there because of the film documenting his life.
So we have one of these moments where Hollywood is tripping over itself to say the right thing, and you have two conflicting issues at the same time. You have ableism and you have racism. And which one weighs up more in the eyes of the public, and what's the right thing to say, who should we stand behind? All this stuff is happening, and we're seeing a lot of, I guess, African American actors speaking out against this. We got Jamie Foxx talking about how it was like appalling and all that. Totally, you have the quotes there. We can get them up in a moment, but I think it's just a headache, isn't it? Like listening to these people go on about inclusivity while trying to exclude somebody because of their mental disorder. Like the way they talk about it, they're like, well, we need to make sure everyone's in a safe space and everyone's included. But then in the same breath, they're like, we need to exclude the guy that the film's about and for his disability.
It's like the Victim Olympics is all it is. Who could be the most offended? And to piggyback about what you said about Jamie Foxx, again, this is from a cited source here. So on February 23rd, 2026, Jamie Foxx commented on the Neighborhood Talks post that, and I quote, "Nah, he meant that shit. Unacceptable." And then further on down the comment section, he went on to say, out of all the words you could have said, Tourette's makes you say that. Jamie Foxx, if by some weird instance you're watching or listening to this podcast, yes, that's how Tourette's works, you fucking retard. God, Golly.
I was reading about Jamie Foxx, and obviously I remember like when No Way Home came out, he was having health issues, and yeah, I was reading up, and apparently he had some sort of brain bleed, and it caused him to have a stroke. And it's like imagine if like the person who found him was like, get off the floor, you don't have anything physically wrong that I can see. You're just being lazy. Get up.
You're hurting
But
the floor.
no.
Stop hurting the floor.
Exactly. But yeah, I don't know. It's so fucking stupid. It's like, why was the guy there at the BAFTAs? Oh, he made a film raising awareness about the plight that people with Tourette's have. Oh, that's nice. Anyways, the guy with Tourette's said a bad word. Let's fucking hang him. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I heard I think it was the chick from Sinners, but she was talking about like they need to have like a separate section for people with like him kind of thing. Like maybe we can keep them all penned
So
in.
now they
Like
want to bring back segregation.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Do you want a separate sink for them as well and a separate drinking fountain and all that?
Well, it was Hannah Beachler who was she actually won an Oscar, the Oscar-winning production designer for Sinners. She took to X, and there's a big long quote here, and I really don't give a shit about all the context. What she says here is, of course we were offended, but our frequency, our spiritual vibration is so tuned to a higher level than what happened. I am not steel. This did not bounce off of me, but I exist above it. It can't take away from who I am as an artist. I'll say it again. He has Tourette's, you fucking idiots.
Oh my god. Yeah. Like I mean, like if they apologized. So did John Richardson. He said he was appalled by it. You know, like he said sorry. You know, I'm sorry I did that. It was unforgivable. Like he was very self-condemning. And then even the BAFTA awards show they made an announcement after, right? They clarified what was
Mhm.
going on. They're like, sorry, you might have heard some bad profanity and cursing and racism, but that's because he has Tourette's. Like we're clarifying it. But even that's not enough. Like what do these people actually want to happen? Like again, you're not stopping people from Tourette's from saying controversial stuff, as Lumar pointed out, and so you told her about the Queen. Like what should you do about that? Like the queen would like isn't it illegal to like verbally attack the queen? I'm sure it is in
I
the
don't know.
UK, but
I haven't cared what they did since 1776, so.
but I mean the point being like you need to just be aware of what's like this person has a disability. What can you do about it? You can't stop him from going to the awards show about his life.
Yeah.
like they're sorry to he's there because they made a movie about him. Like this is his biggest moment.
Well,
So you're gonna kick him out because of something he might say.
and the thing is that we immediately go to virtue signaling and outrage when something like this happens, right? Like I've watched a show. I kind of watch like dirty HBO Max shows, sometimes like reality shows. Like I watched one called Baelor and Out Loud, which is about a girl who has Tourette's, and it's kind of like one of those guilty pleasures. My girl and I, we watch it while we eat or whatever. And I'm sorry if I'm misplaced in saying this, but a lot of stuff she says is hilarious. Like she'll just randomly walk down the street, and any bald person she sees, she screams at them, "You're bald, you're bald," and she'll just
Mm.
walk down the street screaming this. But it's when if I'm up there at the BAFTAs and I'm getting an award, I have an award speech, and I hear someone from the crowd who has Tourette's scream "Cracker, mayonnaise American" at the top of their lungs, I wouldn't be able to stop laughing. But these
Yeah.
folks immediately went to being offended.
Yeah.
Like Jamie Foxx, really, brother? You were in Django, brother.
Yeah, no, for real. Like he was all like in the interviews um about that movie. I'm like he was very defensive of like Quentin Tarantino and Leonardo DiCaprio and the
Mhm.
ability for them to say that. So why is it now a problem when a guy has a literal? If you're willing to forgive your employer who writes it profoundly in his script all the time and are willing to understand the historical context around the word in the film, then why are you not understanding the fucking mental disability that caused him to say it involuntarily? it's just like it really just breaks your brain trying to like wrap your fucking ideas around what's going on here. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
Like,
whole
what if?
reception to it. I mean, fair. I kind of get why people might have like an emotional reaction to it within the first few hours, because I'm not sure. Like, obviously, it's quite a common, well-known thing here in the UK, but I'm not sure how well it's regarded in like the United States and stuff. I don't know if a lot of people know the full in-depth problems that Tourette's brings. So I can kind of forgive like ignorance within the first few hours. But the fact that people didn't bother to do any fucking Google research for 10 seconds to read, and the fact that there's so many big, not just even figures, but companies and broadcast productions, like didn't SNL do a skit about it where they basically shamed people for having Tourette's?
Yeah,
Wasn't that a thing as well?
I don't have that up
I
here
don't
on the
know.
report. No.
I mean,
I'll do a quick search. I swear there was some sort of I don't know if it was SNL. It might have been like a different sketch group,
okay.
but there was a big there's been quite a few people
Actually,
and
yeah, no,
production
I think
companies.
I think I did hear it was SNL. I think you're right. Take a look, but I'm pretty sure you're right now. I'm remembering. Uh,
Uh, yeah, apparently they've done one. Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Wow.
the Saturday just gone, yeah. It's they've done a sketch where they and in it they basically insinuate that they have control over what they can say, and they should, feel guilty about the things they say. Like they don't already feel guilty about stuff. Now you've got to
Jesus
shame them as
Christ.
well. So
Uh,
that had to go through several different producers, a director, several different script writers, and all of these actors read it as well and decided it was fine to, act out. It just really goes to show the ignorance around it, which is just so fucking stupid because they literally won awards at the ceremony that you're criticizing them for.
And it's
oh my God.
and for folks that like aren't really up, which I'm not up to date on Tourette's, but like I said, I watched this show Baelin Out Loud, and it's like I said, she's great. She's a younger girl or whatever. It just kind of documents her life, and there's comedic moments and up and downs and TV dramas and stuff like that. But it's very informative, and it's like it's the point. Like these people cannot control what they say. I remember one episode I was watching where they were flying to, I can't remember where they were. I think it was like California or something like that. And she's walking through TSA, but because she sees a sign where it says, "Do not bring firearms through the gate," she's screaming at the top of her lungs, "I have a gun. I have a gun," right in front of the TSA agents. And it's like, to us, it's like, okay, that's kind of hilarious. But like, just imagine, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's got to be
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just a complete lack of understanding, and like, again, the lack of sympathy and the disregard of somebody's actual mental disability. Like this is like after all the woke stuff, after all the inclusion bullshit, after all the virtue signaling, like after a decade of this stuff, when the rubber meets the road, these people cannot actually fathom what it's like to be one of these people. And
No.
it's just embarrassing. It's so embarrassing to see them tripping over themselves to condemn him. Like poor John Richardson, man. Like poor guy. I
Well,
feel bad for him. Yeah, like just because it was like the biggest moment of his life, and then this is the thing he has to
it's what he's
deal with
remembered
now.
for. Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
gotten to the point here in the United States that racism is in such short supply. And what I mean actual racism. We're talking about outright hatred of someone's race, not criticizing media or entertainment or music or this, that, and the other. That is not racism. But actual racism is in such short supply here in the United States that they're having to fabricate shit like this. You're going after the Tourette's guy. Really? Really?
Yeah, well, it just kind of makes you like not to say that I don't know about what you're saying about racism in the United States, or like it's hard to quantify that, but like it does make you feel like everything. If this is what they're making a big deal about, it immediately downplays like claims about racism, right? Because like the next time someone hears, "Oh, that's racist," they might think, "Well, they're probably just like going after another person with a disability."
Was
Like,
was
this is where
Juicy
you,
Smollett not enough? Like, was that not
yeah.
enough? Like,
If this is where you draw your line in the sand, and this is the example you want to make out of people, then the next time something really racist happens, people are not going to take it as seriously because they're going to immediately think that you're an idiot, right? Because like what happened last time, it's like just accusing the wrong person of the wrong crime. It's just it's just fucking dumb.
yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the BAFTAs. I'm sure the tens of people that did watch it, saw it live. But fucking like, I just saw it hit when it hit Instagram, and the first thing I just thought, I was like, okay, like saying that word out loud in a public forum is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. So my first thought was, okay, whoever said it, something I didn't know who this guy was. I haven't heard of his film, nothing. I was like, whoever said that, there's no way that was on purpose. Like, there's just no way. That's how the majority
Yeah,
of
yeah, like
rational Americans looked at it. They're like, who? And then you've come to find out this is the Tourette's guy. So, like, okay, yeah, free pass,
yeah,
man.
like do they think he's just so uncontrollably racist that he's just I'm gonna ruin my life and yell this word out that will
Right.
immediately condemn me forever on live television because I just hate them so much. I hate these people so much. He's just seething at the mouth. Like, come on, that's not. Oh my God. This is so fucking. It's unbelievable, this reaction. I mean, what a lack, the complete lack of empathy. Like, how can you have this much disdain for your fellow man? How can you not want to reach across the table and be like, hey man, it's fine. You have again, a mental disability. Just fucking relax. It's a bad word, and we all know it's a bad word, and nobody was saying it was okay. The BAFTA award said it was not okay. They're like, sorry about that. Everyone apologized, and yeah, that should have been enough. That should have been enough, but yeah, I guess not.
And as the American in the group here, I understand that is there racism in the United States. Yes, I do think there's a very small portion, but there is some real nasty, detestable racism here in the United States. And I also think there may be some systematic approaches as well that I guess for lack of better words hold black people down. But if this is the issue that you're championing to prove
Mhm.
that racism actually exists in this country. It's the wrong one. It's the same fucking thing they did with the Me Too movement, and they made Amber Heard the face of it. Same shit.
Yeah.
Same shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, like touching on that, the lack of credibility that Hollywood has now, especially after the Epstein stuff. Like like they're
Demonetized.
and the Diddy stuff. Sorry?
That's it, demonetized.
Oh, demonetized. After the story with the guy with the island and the and the Diddy parties. Like we're at a stage right now where, people are really questioning celebrities and looking at them differently and understanding how dark this world can be, like with them. Like with
Mm-hmm.
the peeking we're peeking behind the curtain more than they would probably like to.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're at an all-time low for credibility. Nobody's watching your award shows. Nobody's taking you seriously. Your moral stands are false. And now you're revealed to be in some weird, I mean, people are saying cannibalistic, PDF file cult. So, like,
Yeah.
this is where we're at.
Well, I mean,
I
just
don't
just a
think.
couple months ago, we had Billie Eilish and her big titties. She was talking about how no one's illegal on stolen land. And then come to
Yeah,
find
that
out
was
her
funny.
house was built on tribal land. It's like,
Yeah, there was
what
some
the
Australian
fuck?
dude or something who who fucking there was some Australian dude and he tried to fly out to her state and he said he was going to fucking go to her mansion and then he got turned back at the at the United States airport because apparently had gone viral and she'd phoned them about it and he got sent back to Australia.
Really? Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll have to try and find that tweet that he put out and send it to you. But yeah, he explained it to the officers and stuff, and they were laughing, but they said they had to put him back apparently.
They're just not. They're not culturally relevant anymore. Nobody watches these award ceremonies. Nobody. So here's the thing: the people that think exactly like they do are going to champion what they're saying. They're not getting a bigger audience by doing this. They're not. They're not converting anyone to their ideology by doing shit like this. I don't understand it. I don't. Why would I don't get it? Like it just doesn't make any. Like who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah, when have you learned your lesson? You know, like how the last 10 years you guys have really fucked this up with the whole, political stance bullshit and running your mouths. Like, shut up, take your fucking award. Like, like Ricky Gervais said,
Mm-hmm.
take your award, thank your God, and fuck
And
off.
fuck
Nobody
off.
wants to hear what you have to say. You
Yeah.
guys you're the top 1% of the top 1% of the world's fucking wealth and shit like that. Like, your lives are glamorous beyond belief. You have untold amount of fame. It's incomprehensible to people like us the kind of level you're on. And you're ranting and raving about racism and you said totally your point of this is in the United States. This isn't even the United States. It's fucking UK. It's like it's BAFTAs. It's like we're a very liberal country. Yeah, like oh my god.
I
Well,
don't. It's just this whole subject is just baffling to me. I don't get it. He has Tourette's. I can't get over that. He has Tourette's. He can't help
yeah.
it.
There's really nothing else to say besides
Like,
yes, he has Tourette's. What are you gonna do about it? What's your fucking solution? What are you gonna do?
right.
Are you gonna put a fucking choker on him? Put a dog collar, put a ball in
Shock
his
collar.
mouth? And be like, yeah, like, hey, shut up, okay? You're not. This is your award, but don't come up here and don't talk.
Well, and it's a weird phenomenon to see here too, which that here in the United States, the left has created all of these isms to get behind, and so you have this whole espousing of racism and we must protect black people and people of color and all this other shit, and that comes in over here. And then they had this ableist movement where people have mental and physical disabilities that they can't help, and body positivity and depression, anxiety. Well, now these two issues have met in the middle, where the guy who with Tourette's, which falls under ableism, called two black dudes the N word, which falls under racism. So it's like a weird victim Olympics thing of like trying to figure out like which side can I virtue signal more for? How about you both just shut the fuck up? He has Tourette's.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going.
That's the best thing anyone could have done. Just shut up and move on about it. But no, into a parody.
I know
Yeah.
I'm kind of going off here. It's stupid being here in the US and just getting on social media and you can't go down one sentence without someone trying to act like they're this big, hopeful, virtuous person because they're doing this or doing that. Just shut the fuck up. Nobody cares.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's I think it's the thing is this stuff has just reached its end, right? We're at the end of our ropes, like as a society with this kind of rhetoric, I think, for the most part. And like just stop complaining, get your award. You don't understand clearly mental disabilities at all. So don't act like you know anything about anything. You guys are in this tight little bubble. Like you live in the highest peaks of our society. Chill out.
And
You're fine.
I told you we would probably segue into this. This is why we talked a little bit before the podcast started about, if you want to talk about just how much the average American, the average person in general, doesn't give a shit about this stuff anymore. So Scream 7 came out this past weekend. Yes, we're still doing this. Came out this past weekend, and there was a massive controversy surrounding it. There was a bunch of protests, pro-Palestinian protests, because when the film was in production, Melissa Barrera, who was the lead actress, she plays Sam Carpenter, one of the sisters that was going to carry on the franchise, made some very pro-Palestine, anti-Israel remarks regarding the conflict that was going on with Hamas and all that in 2023, and got fired because of it. And protests happened this past weekend. There was actually a sizable protest that happened at the Scream 7 premiere, to the point that they were so loud, the director, Kevin Williamson, had to comment on the issue. And people didn't give a fuck so much that the Scream 7 had the biggest box office opening in franchise history. So that's how much the average person just doesn't give a shit about what celebrities are doing or what they have to say or their positions or whatever.
I mean, yeah, you could, yeah. Go ahead, Lamar.
I was just gonna say another one is just Mark Ruffalo. Like, I can appreciate him as an actor, but outside of that, I just know every single thing that's gonna come out of his mouth is just bollocks. So I just don't pay attention to him. I do not care about his opinion whatsoever. It's just, he just panders. It's just pandering.
Yeah,
it's so annoying.
Over on my channel, we call him Mark. I support current thing Ruffalo.
I mean, didn't he get kicked off of Marvel recently? Is that a true rumor?
Well, apparently he's obviously, once you get political at Disney and you start alienating certain people, Disney will always care more about the money than they do about taking care of the actor. So apparently,
you better, let's pause on that. Are we just going to act like Snow White 2025 doesn't exist, Lumar?
They were already in a difficult position there. They were already in a difficult position. They already shot the film by the time that happened, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, you're right. So, you're right, though. Disney in recent years has most certainly prioritized money over actors and actresses. I agree there. But it's just, Snow White 2025 was a sheer example of like, okay, well, this person has dug themselves a hole, and Disney just doesn't care.
Yeah, Snow White was just terrible. I think having when you hear that Palestine and Israel and tensions are brewing between them, probably shouldn't have cast two of the main leads from those two respective countries and then shot your entire film right when the conflict kicks off. But that's just my forward thinking.
Yeah, well, I think they did care. I mean, they did a lot of work to try to shut her down and get her to stop talking. But she was I love Rachel Zegler, man. She's great.
A content farm.
Oh, no, she is. She's got some brute force behind her. She's got the kind of mentality, the loathing she has for her fellow man. I admire. But
I hope to achieve that level of hatred someday.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, you just have to be a completely different type of person to be her, like she has a mental state that I'm just totally blown away by. But anyway.
That's no excuse. We can't do that anymore. Nope. Remember Tourette's guy? We can't do that anymore.
But, I don't think they could have stopped her. I mean, the director flew across the world to get her to shut up, and she wouldn't. And then another example of this kind of thing with Scream where the money comes through despite the protesting. Like, take a look at J.K. Rowling. The whole Harry Potter thing, like, that is never stopping. Harry Potter is a go no matter what. And no matter how much J.K. Rowling tweets about trans people and all that stuff, it's not going to stop the Harry Potter series. That's going to make money no matter what. And they tried. They tried to protest the game and everything.
Yeah, Hogwarts Legacy, I think. I think that was one of those things where, because of the controversy, more people, like, it sold like twice as much as they were expecting to sell, and I got the numbers right. Smash hit.
Yeah, I got the numbers right here in front of me since we were talking about it. I mean, this is how much the average person does not give a fuck about left-leaning virtue signaling and all of that. So they did, like Offended said, they tried to protest Hogwarts Legacy. They were actively trying to sink the game on Steam with negative reviews. And it went on to sell 40 million copies, becoming one of the fastest selling and best selling video games in modern history.
There you go.
It used to be like, it used to be that politics was, if politics was attached to something, that was like a detriment. But now it's reached the point where even if you try and attach politics to something, that nobody's giving a shit. All you're actually doing is spreading it to more people who might actually be interested in it and will probably make it successful. That's all you're doing.
Yeah,
But
people will watch stuff out of spite.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel comfortable with the level of BAFTA chat that we had. Are you guys want to make any last points about I Swear and John Richardson?
I'm trying to find the. I'm trying to
John
find.
Davidson. I keep calling it Richardson. Davidson, sorry.
I'm trying to find the actual quote because there was a Kurt Russell who I absolutely love. He's in my favorite film of all time, Tombstone. He actually had a comment that he shared with the New York Times quite a bit back, and I can't find the exact quote, but he talks.
Oh, I think I know what you're on about. Yeah, he was on Twitter like saying that he doesn't give a shit
Yeah,
or
it,
something
it,
like
it
that.
was it was talking about politics, and he says, actually, here it is. There's no reason entertainers can't learn just as much as anybody else about a subject, whatever it is. But I think that what's sad about this is that they lose their status as a court jester. I am a court jester, where he talks about he's just there to entertain people. That is his job. He's not trying to do anything else, and he just absolutely
Yeah.
detests that all these actors and actresses in modern Hollywood are.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, no, that's a really good that's a great quote. That's a great quote.
Mm.
And sorry, did you say Tombstone's your favorite film?
my favorite film of all time. Yeah,
Wow.
that film puts some hair on your chest.
I just rewatched Death Proof.
Oh,
That's a great film.
Tarantino. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah, Kurt Russell fucking kills in that film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should talk. We sometime on the podcast we should do like a throwback film, like we should all watch something like Death Proof and then talk about it. But anyway,
Forcing me
are you guys
to
ready?
watch a Tarantino film? Please don't do that.
Yeah, put a gun to my head. Why don't you? Are you guys ready to talk about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms? Something nice.
Yeah,
Well,
baby.
this is what's hilarious. We just went from racism, black people, the N-word at the BAFTAs. Okay, now let's talk about a show that's almost exclusively white and how great it is.
Hey, Tansel is she's a real cutie and a great part of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, okay, I got nothing but good things to say about this show. Okay, I have some slight irks for the show in the last episode specifically that we'll get to talk about. But yeah, generally, let's talk about how this show was fucking awesome. So, Lumar, why don't you start us off? What do you think about the show overall?
Oh, this show is an example of like a simple thing done extremely well. It's not Game of Thrones where you've got all of these people vying for power and backstabbing each other, and they're trying to make different bargains, and there's all this mystical stuff going on around them that complicates things even further. A guy, he wants to be a proper knight, he ends up getting into a fist fight with a prince, and then they have a duel to the death, and he wins, and he gets to prove his knighthood. It's such a simple story, but they if they want to make a character likable, they make them likable. If they want you to hate them, they'll do it. If they want you to make you feel about one way about them, but then add a scene to show that there's actually a different side to them, they just do it so well. The costume design, like Jesus, there's so much detail on those armors. Like I think he doesn't get as much focus, but who's the guy who betrays them and goes onto the other team? The Apple guy.
Well, Baelor? Not Baelor. No.
Fast away.
Yeah, that's it.
Fuckface.
Like
Yeah.
that armor
Steph-
design is so good. Like all the apples and the vines and the stems on it. Like such good costume design, set design. The actors are great. Yeah, and the music as well. It's such a nice change of pace instead of going in Game of Thrones where there's all this big bombastic music wherever you go. It's just nice, kind of gentle folk music that just plays as they go through the forest, or they're sitting eating breakfast, or they're having like little talks and stuff. And that way, when you do get the bombastic music, you've earned it. And yeah, fucking absolutely terrific. I hate that I have to wait like another year for the next season.
Well, hey, at least it's only a year and not 2 years like shows have been doing lately for some reason. I
Or
have no
3
idea
if you're
why,
Stranger
but
fucking Things.
well,
Golly.
I could wait. I could wait another decade before they release any Stranger Things
You got a
content.
month. We have that animated crap coming out.
Oh God, yeah.
For me, I mean, Night of the Seven Kingdoms was, which we do have a Discord, folks, that I'm sure Offended will put down in the comment section. But we were talking to Discord about it, that it was a show that I was looking forward to. Like, I was actively looking forward to new episodes of it. And for me, because I
Mhm.
watch so much film and television, all this other shit, I tend to attach myself to characters. Like, we've talked ad nauseum about Fallout. None of us liked Fallout, but for myself, I attached myself to Walton Goggins and the character of the Ghoul. I thought he did great. So, when the show sucks, which for the most part of season 2 it did, I just focus on him and his characterizations. At the very least, I can say, hey, he did really good. So for this show, I really hung in there with Sir Duncan and obviously Egg. And the chemistry between them on screen was so good. They were just bouncing off one another. I was like, to be sure, they have good chemistry outside of this. Like, there's just no way this happened organically, on screen. They do. They were pretty
Yeah.
much brothers during the production. Peter Claffey and Dexter Soul Ansel spent extensive time together. They played video games, went to arcades, went to films together. Matter of fact, I did a video on this. Peter Claffey was talking about how Dexter refused to go to anywhere but Five Guys on the weekends to eat because he loved their peanut butter milkshake. So it's like, to see something like that, I was like, this is like an old way of filmmaking. Like, you have actors off screen that get actual real chemistry and actual, like, a little bit of brotherly love going on, and then it directly translates into the show, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it does create such a vibe, which I think it definitely separates it from Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, because those aren't like sit down, I'm gonna throw on some good old House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones, and sit down for an hour and just have it on the background. It's like a show you need to pay attention to. It's a lot going on. It's a lot
Mhm.
of drama. It's very intense a lot of the time. So this show, on the other hand, is very slow, and they do a great job just showing you what it's like to live as a hedge knight. Like that scene where they're fucking cracking eggs and eating some bacon sandwiches and watching the tournament, and they're just chilling out. It reminds me a lot of, to go back to Quentin Tarantino, his films, where there doesn't need to be something going on for you to enjoy it. Like there's so much of his films, like in well, Death Proof, we talked about that, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood are examples where like these characters are just hanging out, going about their
Mhm.
day-to-day lives, and you get to see that, and it's really enjoyable, despite there not a lot of narrative goals happening. And I think that's great that you can just throw on this show, and it's just a nice thing to watch. Like two characters getting along, having a good relationship, really good dialogue, and yeah, we don't really see that nowadays. Like it just you don't really see that. Be like, this is just great to watch,
Mhm.
on
Yeah.
every level.
Characters
Like
you can
it's got
believe in.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and like you said, I was excited for every episode. I was like, yes, like bring it to me now. I want to binge the whole thing. And I actually watched every episode twice, which and usually I do that for reviewing stuff and talking about it on YouTube. But like I just watched it because I liked it,
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
which is yeah. When's the last time that happened?
Yeah, and the thing is, we got to the point, and we talked about this in Discord. We've come to the point in modern entertainment where we're like Starfleet Academy, for instance. We have 10 episodes, and they're each an hour long. We're sort of going, "What the fuck? Like, this is just a form of depression I've never heard of. Like, it just sucks." Then when it came down to a Night of Seven Kingdoms, I'm like, "You motherfuckers! You only gave us 6 episodes of like a half hour apiece. Like, damn it! It was so good that we were wanting more." Which is something you do
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
hear in entertainment.
No. No, and it's across the board praise as well. Like, I don't hear anybody saying this is a shit show. The worst I've heard, the most negative opinion I've heard consistently is that people are worried about future seasons because obviously Martin's only written 3 novellas, and
Yep.
this is one done. So they only have like 2 seasons left where they're going book for book, and after that,
Good.
these shows have a tendency to go off the rails.
Oh.
Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon before that start to. Okay.
All right, whatever.
Okay.
We can edit that or whatever. But yeah, for some reason you just cut the hell out.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people are concerned about what will happen after they run out of the books, and it seems like the showrunner, I can't remember his name, he seems very dedicated to keeping the show as accurate to the books as possible, and you can see that with the costume design and a lot of the character stuff. But there's even like some small details that he puts in that the other two shows haven't. For example, in the last episode, Lionel Baratheon, he says the others geld me or something. I think like he says the others something. And in the books, there's a like turn of phrase where you say the others take you or the others damn you or the others like kill you, something like that. And the others are a reference to the White Walkers, but it's just a small like language thing. But again, it's not brought up at all in Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon. So the fact that he's putting in these little details to like embellish the world and take it from the books and be more accurate, I think that says a lot about what he wants out of the show. So I'm hoping, I got my fingers crossed that he commits to that in the future when they inevitably run out of books.
Yeah, I mean, another thing you've got to remember is this show seems to be going for shorter run times, so about half an hour, sometimes 40-ish minute episodes, nothing really above that, so they're not dragging out a story. And another thing is, again, it seems to focus on more simple, easy to understand stories. That was one of the worst things towards the end of Game of
Mm-hmm.
Thrones. Is obviously you've got the Iron Throne, you've got all the stuff going on across the sea in where fucking Dany was doing her shit. You got the
Right.
White Walkers, yeah, that's it. You got the White Walkers and stuff going on at the wall, and you had to wrap up these like three, four, five major storylines. You had dozens of subplots. You had hundreds of characters that all needed to, have satisfying arcs, and you had to wrap up all the themes and references and setups from the previous seasons. And yeah, it was just a fucking mess. Here, if they just stick to Dunk and Egg, going about, getting into little bits of trouble in different areas of Westeros, you could probably do a decent job of just writing new original content, and it wouldn't feel too out of place, I don't think.
Yeah, like I'm with what Offended said earlier. Obviously, being a big Tarantino guy, is that he tells isolated stories with isolated characters, and I think that's what they did well here. It wasn't convoluted. There wasn't 9,000 things going on. That which I'm a big Lord of the Rings guy. Love Tolkien, the whole but those books, those films, there's a lot of shit going on. So this was a breath of fresh air, especially in a genre that's been suffering over the years of just like, hey, here's a story about a little bald boy and a real big tall dude. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as well, like it's as simple as it is, and I think it is very simple and it's sweet. I appreciate the level of subtext that there is for everything. I mean, again, this is George R. R. Martin, so he knows what he's doing. And even though it's a simple story, there's still so much depth to everything. Like the characters are all like Lumar, you were talking about this earlier. Um, the like you can see with Maekar, for example, like when we meet Maekar, that's Baelor's brother who kills him. He comes off as very rude, arrogant, closed-minded, aggressive. And then by the end of the show, though, you start to see multiple sides of him. Like you can see that he's actually quite wounded by what's happened with his brother, and he's clearly very concerned about his children, even though he's not a good father, but he does care. He does love his kids. And there's this great little detail in the battle as well, even though it's like a blink and you miss it moment where Duncan has Aerion and he's on top of him and beating him up. And Maekar is desperately trying to get to Aerion in time, and he says like "my boy" or something like that. And it's just this small little detail that just adds a lot to his character and shows like again like the levels of the many faces of Makar's character. Even though we don't get a lot of screen time with him, even though he's not a huge part of the story, you can see there's a lot going on with him and what he's thinking about how he feels about the people around him. And again, just saying like that is so uncommon now. You don't get that with the Fallout show. You don't get that with Stranger Things. You don't
Mm-hmm.
get that with Alien Earth or Star Trek Academy. Like it's just like it's something refreshing because there's a lot to think about, even though it's such a nice, small, contained story.
And it does help too that we've gotten so many years of Game of Thrones, and we have however many seasons of the main line and then of House of Dragon that they really didn't need to explain anything in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms because when certain flags show up, you know who that belongs to. When a certain person shows up, you know what house they belong to. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I do think that it's kind of like having to wade through a bunch of shit in order to get to the good stuff. That's and Night of the Seven Kingdoms is the good stuff.
Yeah, I want more. I want more fantasy like
Agreed.
this, upbeat, happy, and but also like deep storytelling. That's not a joke. You don't like. There's not a lot of fantasy films out. I don't think at all really. That like when's the last time there was a fantasy movie that came out? Like I'm thinking like Dungeons and Dragons, but that was more of a comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when's the last time we had a film like Lord of the Rings come out? Like it would be great if like somebody took kind of like a Night of the Seven Kingdoms idea or like a fantasy book like that and like took itself seriously. Like we're gonna tell a real fantasy story and we're not gonna you know treat it like it's a comedy. And I mean, I know the Seven Kingdoms is funny. It's very upbeat. It still takes itself really seriously. It's not like making a joke out of the world and the people in it. It makes light
Yeah.
of the tone, but it's not making fun of its world.
It's
Yeah,
funny.
it treats the world and the world building with like the respect and everything surrounding kind of Dunk and what happens with him. That's more comedic, but yeah, it doesn't try and tear down like the houses or anything like that. It just kind of establishes stuff and then it gets on with the plot, and that's all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think.
offended you asked. You said, when was the last time we got a film like Lord of the Rings? The Lord of the Rings was the last time we got a film like Lord
Yeah,
of
it
the
was.
Rings. We just don't make films like that anymore. We're never going to top that level of just epicness. It's never going to happen.
Yeah, I don't want to believe that. I want to believe that, people will take fantasy seriously at some point again. I don't know why we haven't. I mean, like there's clearly a deep thirst for this kind of stuff, right? Like Game of Thrones is a massive community. People love Game of Thrones and its sister shows, obviously, and even this show has made a huge, cut into the media landscape. So why not make a trilogy out of another book series? There must be a million books out there that are worth adapting.
I will tell you why. When you think about fantasy, what period in world history do you typically relate to when it comes down to fantasy? The medieval age, correct? And what was
Yeah.
not really around during the medieval age, especially in Europe? Hi, CHD. I hope you're
Yeah.
listening. That's why. No, that's why. Is because we're in a culture now that's trying to push all this, diverse and trying to put people of color and stuff into film and TV shows and stuff like that. The reason why, like, I'm sitting here I'm looking at. We were talking about the last like fantasy. We're talking like within the realm of medieval fantasy. The last film that came out that was considered somewhat good, right? Was Puss in Boots: The Last Wish in 2022. And the reason why we're not the reason why we're not doing these is because it's two sides of the coin. If you do one and you put this diverse crap in a film that's based or a show that's based on the medieval age, you're going to get outrage from one side, and then if you don't, you're going to get outrage from the other. That's how this works. That's why we haven't done it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I
I'm
mean,
I'm kind of surprised that there wasn't like a lot of that for Night of the Seven Kingdoms, because I mean you've got the Dornish women, but besides that, everyone's pretty much just white. So I'm surprised people didn't make a fuss about this over Twitter.
I mean, there was a
Yeah.
big fuss about the show, and it was stupid. I don't know if you heard about it or not. It was so fucking stupid. Fans of Breaking Bad were rating
Oh,
episodes
Oh
of Night of the
yeah.
Seven Kingdom
Yeah.
horribly so that they didn't top episodes of Breaking Bad. Like, are you like, really? This is what we're doing? Can someone get the Tourette's guy on these
Yeah.
people? Come on.
Yeah, no, this is a real controversy. I mean, the irony being that the Breaking Bad fan community's apparently been doing this for a long time, but now they've come up against the Game of Thrones fans who are very dedicated as well, and now neither episode is doing well, like as well as it initially did. Like both of them are way beneath the
I think
level they should
the Breaking Bad one went from 10 to like a 9.6, and the Night of the Seven Kingdoms one went from a 10 to like a 9.7, something like that. That was the last time I checked a few days ago. I don't know what it's
Yeah.
like now, but
Which it's just a ridiculous prospect. Like, this is what we're doing? Really?
just delete those fucking reviews. It's pointless.
Yeah. Whatever.
I mean, they even say like a lot of the reviews are like, "Oh, I love A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, but I got to make like Ozymandias the best episode ever for some reason."
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're in a time and place now though that like people are just so hungry for stuff like this. Like it wasn't Night of the Seven Kingdoms wasn't about social bullshit. It wasn't about political bullshit. It didn't have diversity in places it wasn't supposed to. Like Tansel being Dornish, I was like, there we go. That makes sense. She's Dornish, right? And people are so thirsty for stuff like this. That's why everyone's talking about it. That's why we want more. That's why everyone can't wait for a second season, which I haven't heard in the last. Not heard a single person say, "Man, I can't wait for the next season of that show," without sounding depressed in the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, well, Bertie Carvel, the actor who played Baelor in The Night of the Seven Kingdoms, he had a really great quote. I have it here. He said, "I think there must be a deep thirst in most of us to realize that there is a space in a cynical world for heroes and for people who choose to do the right thing."
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's probably one of the best compliments to the show. Is just like, yeah, we need some heroism, especially nowadays with like, and let's be honest, like a pretty ever darkening world at the moment
Yeah.
with big conspiracies and war on the horizon. It'd be nice to just agree on a show more often,
Or not even
the fact that
agree,
this is
just
like,
escape. Just escape.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm very happy that the biggest controversy around the show is like a war on IMDb with the Breaking Bad fans over a 10 point whatever fucking star on a shitty website. Like fuck off, it's fine. If that's the worst that's coming out of it, I'm very happy with that. I wish that was the case more often. I mean, it's just very refreshing to lose yourself in this fantasy world and not have to think about, oh, how is this going to rub this group the wrong way? How are people going to react to this decision? Blah blah blah. So yeah, that was it was just lovely to see that. You don't see it enough.
And it's just wild to me it came out of HBO Max. Like this was the same fucking platform that not even a year ago gave us The Last of Us season 2. And I'm like, really? This is the same people that get Sir Duncan the Tall came from the same people that I'm gonna be a dad. Really?
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't put the blame on HBO for that. I mean, we know who the culprits.
They
to that
sign off
decision
on
are.
it. The buck stops with them.
Yeah. I want to forgive HBO because they've brought us so many good shows, and my favorite shows are all in HBO. So I think for the most part they're pretty good. I mean, especially compared to Netflix and Disney and DC all that stuff. So
Yeah, which
I think
we're saying it wrong too, though, man. It's not HBO. I'm sorry, we're not going to be watching this stuff on HBO Max anymore. We're going to be watching it on Paramount
Yeah.
Plus.
that's a huge thing too, man. That's huge. That's big news. Very big news.
No. Well, here's the thing. Like Paramount Plus is obviously like the lesser of two evils between them and Netflix. But I'm currently watching Starfleet Academy, and I don't know why in the fuck people are so happy about this. So I'm like,
Because some people are desperate. What do Star Trek fans even have anymore?
God, I mean, what is it like? Yes, Paramount got Warner Brothers. Yes, we win. No, because Kurtzman's still a thing, and he's on Paramount. So, like, obviously, they're not. They don't make the best decisions.
Yeah, I think the whole thing is that the guy who owns Paramount is more conservative, isn't he? He's like talking about changing things. There's
I'm
a
not going to say his family is good friends with a certain person in the White House, but
yeah.
let's just.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well. So I think
Yeah.
there might be a tonal shift overall. I don't know why Starfleet Academy is still hanging around, but I
Well, it
mean,
won't be, not for long.
yeah.
Not if we have anything to say
No,
about
no. I mean, I think I don't think it's gonna be long for this world. I imagine it's a one season show. Yeah, but another thing I want to talk about with the Night of the Seven Kingdom or um, AKOTSK is how good the fucking Trial of Seven was. Man, that action was insane. It's so well done.
It was
The
good.
fighting was great.
Oh,
The
dude, it's brutal.
choreography was great. Um,
Practical effects.
and I love
No CGI.
practical effects.
Loved it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I like the style was really great. I mean, they took a big risk with the big flashback sequence halfway, into the episode. And I was very worried when we saw that. I was like, "Oh fuck," like we're gonna have to sit here and watch his whole childhood. But it ended up being great too.
Mhm.
I loved learning about what his life was like in Flea Bottom and stuff, and it wasn't a drag. And I think a lot of people were kind of being like, "Oh man, this is a flashback episode. Next one, like they're gonna interrupt the fight, blah blah blah." And yeah, they pulled it off though.
Yeah.
Which was
I
nice to
think
see.
it established him as just a good dude, a flawed dude, but a good dude. And
Yeah.
everyone, on top of that, something everybody can root for, the underdog. Everyone loves an underdog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's kind of what I was saying before, how they'll add a scene that makes you completely change on a character. Like throughout pretty much most of the flashbacks with Alan, like he was just like, a dick who got drunk and didn't really care about making Dunk a knight. And then you see this episode, and it's like, what a fucking G he was. Like, honestly. Like, in the name of the mother, leave that boy be. And he just starts fucking taking heads. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
what a badass.
Yeah, I love the overall message that heroism can come from any place in society. Like, you see that Arlen, like you said, is the hero, even though he's this drunk old man. He's the example of knighthood that Duncan follows, and Duncan is obviously the truest knight in Westeros. So, but him being a hedge knight, I think it's a really nice message. But also, again, like the deep subtext to all this stuff, like the paradox of Duncan's character, where he's the truest knight in Westeros, but he's not a knight.
Yeah.
It's this weird thing where he's super noble and does the right thing almost always, but he's a liar. He's lying about his knighthood. He's not who he says he is, and that's actually a really deep theme in the show. I mean, for a lot of characters, like Egg is also a liar. He lies to Duncan throughout the show, obviously, about his origins. We see that even Baelor doesn't really lie, but he does bend the truth or bend the rules. I'd say, like when the trial's about to happen, and he's like, "Oh, I'll deal with the Kingsguard because they can't hurt me." It's not lying, but it's like, yeah, this is not. That's not noble. That's not. That's not a
Well,
very honorable thing to do, is it? It's cheating.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the entire show calls into question, and it's a message that we could apply to our life now, right? Is that for certain people within the show, being a knight is about prestige. It's about wearing a suit and a certain suit of armor. It's about a certain flag. It's about a certain position and title. And then you have Sir Duncan, who has none of those things. And being a knight to him is about morality, doing the right thing, serving the people. And I mean, just think about that nowadays, right? Like apply that to your real life, like
Mhm.
your politicians and your leaders and all that. And it's like, man, that's such a good message.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, going back to that Bertie Carvel quote, I think that's he referred to our real life situation with leaders and everything, and
Mhm.
he was talking about Baylor's character and seeing leaders do the right thing for no other reason than it is the right thing to do is great.
Justice from a man,
We
Baelor,
need.
man. That hurt. That hurt.
Oh,
Oh, it hurts so much. So I was like, God damn it.
yeah. When he's like, when my fingers feel like wood, you're like, fuck.
It's like I'm smelling burnt toast. It's like, oh no, no.
Yeah. It's very devastating.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it any further. It's just like, especially that whole scene, that raw emotion. Like, Sir Dunk really didn't know Baelor that much. They only had a couple of interactions, but the amount of emotion they put into that when he pretty much dies in Sir Duncan's arms, and it's like, holy shit! Like, it's just heavy, man.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's so tragic on so many levels because Baelor is obviously the best leader, right? Like
Hmm.
he is, because throughout the show we see that like you said, titles and symbols and crowns don't give you morality. That's not where heroism comes from. It comes from people's actions. But Baelor represented the duality of both great power and great morality and honor. So when he dies, it's like seeing the hope of Westeros die with him. And I mean, George R. R. Martin actually confirmed this in an interview recently, where he said like the trajectory of the story would have completely changed had Baelor survived. Like the Targaryen dynasty would have lasted far longer and would have been far better for Westeros. But because he dies, it takes a very dark route, and we get the events of Game of Thrones. So it is like this huge tragedy for the world, but then also a huge tragedy for Dunk as well, because he's getting everything he wanted, right?
Yeah.
Like he became famous, he won a tournament technically, and he is now he says that I'm your sword, I'm your man, like let me follow you. And he says I need good men, Sir Duncan. So he's now like it's very clear that he was going to serve the new king. But and then he dies. And he dies, if you look at, I don't know if you guys looked at the footage, but he dies completely unnecessarily. It didn't need to happen. He Makar hits him with the mace after Aerion surrenders.
Oh, really?
So it's really it's an extra twinge of
Hmm.
um
Interesting.
of tragedy. Yeah, yeah. Because there's this scene where it's slow motion and Duncan's looking around and he's seeing everybody fighting. And if you slow it down, it happens again, like in a blink of an eye. But you can see Makar hit um, Baelor in the head with the mace, and it's a big blow. It's to the back of the head as well, so it's the killing blow. And then he gets Arion to like officially surrender, but he had surrendered. It was over.
I was too busy
Yeah.
red in the face screaming at my TV for Sir Duncan to get up, so I didn't notice that.
I know, yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, but had Duncan moved faster, had he not been injured so badly, it just was not a thing that needed to happen. But yeah, again, great storytelling, and what a tragedy for Sir Baelor, because what a great character.
Hmm.
And Bertie Carvel did such a good job with them as well.
Yep.
Yeah, he's
All the actors did terrific, I think.
yeah.
I can't think of a single bad performance.
No, not a single one.
It's
No, I think
fantastic.
they all. Yeah, it's just really good all around. I love the scene where you meet Baelor for the first time. Like they do such a good job in that quick conversation to establish him as this great hero, a great leader. Like, because I don't know if you guys remember the scene that well, but just to summarize, Sir Duncan is like spying on them. He wants to meet Sir Baelor so he can get him into the list because he knows
Yeah,
that
yeah.
he fought a tourney against him and Sir Arlen jousted against each other. So he shows up, and then Makar is furious. Obviously he's like, "Who you fucking? Why are you sneaking up on us?" And he's angry. And then Baelor calms him down. So they establish that he's got the power, and they show how he's kind. He's like he's like willing to hear Duncan out, but he's not an idiot either. And the way he tests Duncan's knowledge about Sir Arlen is great, because it's not very confrontational. He's not like oh, you're a liar, but you don't know Sir Arlen, and he could have done it like that. He could have been a lot more direct, and you could assume that Makar would have been more direct. But the way he's like, well, then what's the gray line? He refers to another guy that Sir Arlen jousted, and test Duncan's knowledge about it, and yeah, I don't know. It did a great way of showing us who he was. He's not an idiot. He's not an idiot. He's really smart, but he's kind and wise. And again, you just don't fucking get that anymore. Like, can we name a character in fucking Fallout that had any kind of level of depth like that?
No.
Could I have sat here and talked about a character in Fallout like that?
And the thing is, like,
Absolutely not.
Baylor's not even like, I want a show on Sir Lionel. That dude's like he's like a mixture of Tyrion and fucking Borat, and I loved his character.
It was so funny. Him
Yeah.
and Dunk had so much fucking chemistry, man.
Yeah, and I think that's the most important thing. That's something I led off with when in my opening remarks is that not just like Dunk and Egg, but like everybody. Like there's actually some behind the scenes stuff. The actor was his name Daniel Ings. They're gonna play Sir Lionel. There's some behind the scenes commentary where he's talking about how hard it was for him to have to learn how to cuss around a little kid,
Yeah.
especially someone like Dexter Solanzo who plays Egg, who hates cursing. Like he was genuinely uncomfortable.
Yeah, that was great. I love that cut where he's like, "Oh yeah, Dexter is fine with it though," and then it cuts to Dexter being like, "I don't like swearing. I only do it because it's my job."
Like it's like a lot of that stuff is just like it's heartwarming. Like you've probably seen the same video that I'm talking about Offended, but Lumar, you can go check it out too. Like there's actual footage, like a little, I guess, a short of the day that Dexter gets to meet Peter Claffey, who plays Sir Dunk, and his level of excitement in this little short clip of getting to meet his co-star. And it's like, dude, we just don't get this kind of stuff anymore. We just don't.
Yeah, everyone just seemed like really eager and really happy to be doing this project.
Mhm.
Like I
Yeah.
don't think I've heard absolutely like no controversies whatsoever
Zero.
surround. Yeah, because usually you'll say someone like, "Oh, the director gave me a bit of a hard time," or "I didn't like I wasn't happy with this scene that I had to do." But no, everyone just seems to have had a fun time. They gave it their all. They had a good laugh, and they enjoyed each other's company. And yeah, it sounds like it's been a fucking terrific production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have loved
I mean,
to have been there while they were filming. That would have been so much fun to see that.
I guess Martin was really happy as well. I mean, he's one of the big people in the past who has been really upset with how the shows have gone. But he said that everyone did a really good job. Everyone was accurate to the books. I mean, Sir Lionel's actor, I can't remember his name, but he's
Daniel
shorter
Eames.
than the. Yeah, he's a lot shorter than the Laughing Storm is supposed to be. But they actually referenced that in the show, which was good.
Well, so was Sir
But he
Duncan.
said yeah, I mean, Sir Duncan in the books is like 6'6", isn't he? Something like that.
6'11".
It's quite. Is it 6'11"?
I'm looking
Yeah,
at it
it's
right
fucking
now.
insane.
6'11". Yeah, then Peter Claffey's actually 6'5". Yeah.
Oh right, yeah. That's
Yep.
right. Yeah. Well, why couldn't they find a guy fucking who's 6'11"? What the fuck?
They did it with the Mountain. They did it with what's his name? What was the other guy's name? The other one, the Wolf, the Hound. That guy was huge too.
The Hound, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy is big.
But I mean, I wouldn't want that kind of authenticity anyway. I mean, 6'5" fucking. Yeah, it's still tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, talking about diversity and meeting quotas and all that stuff. I mean, and going back to Sir Lionel, what a great way to have probably a gay character in the show that's like pretty subtle.
Oh, dude,
I mean,
he's at least
there's
metrosexual.
There's lots of hints.
Yeah, he's bisexual, definitely.
But like, what a great way to do it! Like, he was so funny, and it wasn't in your face, and like, if you didn't, think about it too hard, like Sir Duncan doesn't, you probably would never know.
Yeah, he's just flamboyant.
But-
He's just flamboyant. That's it.
Yeah, you're like, he's just a little like he's for the boys, I love the ways he hits on him though. There's a great scene where in the last episode there, I was fucking laughing. I mean, the whole scene's really funny. But when Sir Lionel shows up and he's like leaning against the tree with him, and he invites him to Storm's End, he's like, we'll hunt and bank merry and sail together. And he's kind of talking about it like he has just thought of this, like, like but it's so clear he's been thinking about it, like.
He's got
He's
it
like, yeah,
all
well,
planned out.
yeah, we'll just hang out. It'll be fun, And this is just a thought, whatever. And then, but it's like, yeah, please come.
Well, and that's because it's like it's abstract, because what we see, mostly out of Hollywood, which there's no problem. I don't give a fuck. Be gay if you want to be, man. You do you, boo boo. I don't give a shit. But it's like the image that we have of that in Hollywood is that it's the guy with the lisp, and he's moving his hands around. He's wearing a
Mhm.
bunch of rainbow stuff and earrings, and okay, honey. But then Sir Lionel is like actually this fucking warrior badass. That's like got the
Yeah.
big deer antlers and fucking the dude's a fucking like he's awesome. And so it's weird to see that
Yeah.
abstract there. And it's like, you don't have to be like a little, I hate saying this word, but a little fairy to be a gay dude. You can be like a big burly gay dude too. Like that's completely fine.
He does have an earring though, so.
But you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying though, right? You have the image in your head of what I'm talking about.
No, I'm just joking. I had to point that out. Yeah, I do like his perspective as well. I mean, especially because of how much we were just talking about Baelor being the greatest leader and everything, and how he sacrifices himself for Duncan. I loved Sir Lionel's take on how he didn't he's like I fought for
Yeah.
you, and the other two guys fight for you, but like this guy fought against men who were sworn to protect him and his family. He didn't risk anything. He died accidentally, but in his mind going into it, probably was a real low risk move. I don't think I don't think he's right, but great
That's
perspective
a good
from the
perspective,
character,
yeah.
and something, and something that makes sense for him to believe.
Yeah. Yeah, he was my favorite character
Yeah.
in the whole show. Sir Lionel was. I loved every single scene that he was in.
Yeah, I mean the whole tug of war scene's great as well. He's like looking good, and he slaps his ass.
Well, I mean, it's just he's just kind of like that diamond in the rough that, like, you look at this time when there's just dirt and shit and mud and people are dying, and what I'm saying, like, it's just a dirty, grimy time, and this guy's like just a light. He's just out there. He's the comedic
Mhm.
relief, and it actually works. It's really good.
Yeah, I mean his knighting of the Apple Boy scene is great.
Hmm.
When he does the whole how epic was that when he's like doing like a Name of the Mother and everything, like whoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, not enough good things I could say about the show. And I really liked the villain too. I mean, everyone I think has praised the show a lot, but I don't know if he gets talked about enough. Sir Aerion Targaryen, great villain. Like
Mhm.
what a little shit.
I hated that fucking guy.
Um,
God, I hated that guy.
yeah. I think unlike Joffrey though, I mean he's got that similar like the game like George R. R. Martin knows how to write a little fuckhead character. But
Yeah.
but I liked Arion's perspective. He has a motivation that's understandable. He's not just doing things because he's cruel. He's doing it for a reason. At least in the show. I mean, maybe in the books it's a little different. I haven't read A Dunkin' Egg that thoroughly, but so like, because you gotta think about where the Targaryens are at in this time. Their power is waning. They don't have dragons anymore. They have to go to these tournaments to for publicity and stuff like that, and to assure up alliances and everything. And so Aerion is coming at it from the perspective that he needs to make his family stronger.
Yeah, it's about
That he
image.
needs
Yeah.
to prove that, to prove that they're not to be fucked with. And that's why he kills the horse. And that's why he
Dick
breaks Ansel's finger. Yeah, no, he's a total piece of shit. I'm not excusing what he's doing, but his perspective is that like, he's like, I'm gonna show like who's the top dog around here, and as well that kind of like leads into the Trial of Seven. He wants to show that his family has
Yeah.
like unquestionable righteousness, and that they cannot be defied, and he brings that up like he's like, well, I was offended, but also Darren was also slighted by Sir Duncan, supposedly. Obviously, it's a lie, but he needs to make up for all these crimes against the family, or else it's a crime
Mhm.
left unpunished. I mean, the irony being that he makes his family ultimately weaker because Baelor dies because of his decision making and everything, adds to it, and also the duality that he's just a sadist and coward. But cool, like great villain. Yeah, he's all these things,
Which
and that's awesome.
I can't thank.
I mean,
I want to give a little shout out here to one of my members and one of my best friends here, as far as the subscribers and stuff like that. Elena, I know you listen to these. You're in the Discord. I just want to say I appreciate you so much, because she was the one that kept hounding on me, like, you got to watch this show. You got to. And I finally did. I am eternally grateful. Thank you.
nice. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, thank you to all our listeners, really. I mean, we really appreciate everyone who sticks around. I know there are a few people that watch pretty regularly here, and we've thanked you in the past, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun making these episodes, and it's nice to see our communities coming together and people supporting the channel and everything, everyone in the Discord. So yeah, thank you all.
Including all the shit talkers. I was looking at comments on the last the Fallout one, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? Let me see here. Let me see if I can.
Oh my god.
Maybe let me just we're going to do this. Let me go ahead and just go to that video and let me just take a look at some of the stupid shit that people say. Yeah.
Oh man, dude, it's just more people being like, oh, you liked one thing about the Fallout show, fucking tourists. They got so angry about it. Even though we shit talked the show for 2 hours. I mean, hey, I appreciate you guys for not liking Fallout show. It's terrible, and I'm glad that people don't like it. But Toller is he did not defend the show that much. Besides, he said he liked it because his girlfriend liked it.
I mean, I had a reasonable middle position, and apparently that wasn't enough. I have to hate this thing, inexplicit. Like, just what in the hell?
Yeah. Well, I remember you weren't giving it like a real like logical. You're not like, hey, this show's great. You're like, I have an emotional connection to it because of the people around me, and that makes I have an emotional connection to Madam Web. I love that movie. Terrible film. Same with Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, this one guy here said my girl liked it over and over again. It's not an argument. It was never my argument, you stupid fuck. Like, that was never my argument. Like if there was a pathway, if your girl, like, or just your partner in general, if there was a pathway and she was like, I really like this thing, what is this thing based on? And it's based on a game, and it gets said partner into your universe, into your realm. Like, now I walked in there the other day, she's in there playing Witcher. She's like, I really like the Fallout game. I thought maybe I'd try another RPG. Now she's playing The Witcher 3. So you know what? What's the name? The Mongoose? Go fuck yourself with a cactus.
Yeah.
There was one comment here. I'm trying to find it because it was hilarious. Just keep going. I'll find it here in a minute.
Yeah. I read through the comments too. Someone really liked your Lumar, your Austin Powers reference there. Why make why make trillions when we can make billions?
Billions.
Phyllis, thank you for bringing up the god awful jingle that plays whenever the ghoul is on screen.
Oh man, the yodeling. Yeah. I'm glad we don't have to talk about Fallout anymore. What a fucking terrible show that was.
Just another year and a bit probably, and then we'll have a third season.
Yeah.
Where they've somehow built Liberty Prime from scratch in like a month or something.
Yeah, and then
because not enough time has passed, has there? It's like the first season takes place over like a week, and then they've been traveling 2 weeks to get to Vegas, and then season 2 takes place over like a week. So if Liberty Prime just shows up, it's gonna be fucking bollocks. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm excited to see Quintus the Destroyer.
Well, oh yeah.
Oh fuck
I'm
me.
trying to think of what he was called, because he says Quintus is Quintus the Unifier is dead. Quintus the Destroyer. Like, oh, that's so fucking cringe, man.
Yeah. Yeah, someone watched like an episode of fucking some anime show. It's like we're gonna
Like
take some random line.
you can have characters say shit like that when you're doing it in some sort of big sci-fi fucking drama or something. Not an old crippled man who's struggling to walk, who can't even do anything because everything's getting destroyed around him. You can't have someone like that come out
Yeah.
with this. Like, how's he gonna build Liberty Prime? His fucking base is getting destroyed around him.
Oh man, we
And
cannot get back into this show.
what are they gonna power it with? Oh,
Oh, dude, it's so bad.
I'm
it's
just
the
sitting here
whole point
reading
of
these
Fallout
comments. This is
3.
wild.
Fallout 3, you need to find like a new, like a power source that actually functions on him to get him working. And it was like one of a kind fucking experimental thing, and then they're just gonna pull one out of their ass for season 3.
Yeah, well, you got Liberty Prime 3.0 Giga Chad fucking.
I'm sitting here.
Was
I'm sitting here laughing over, like, I apologized in the comment section that I was feeling really bad. You could tell I was on camera, and I said that I apologized.
Oh,
in the comment,
yeah.
and then some dude comes and goes, "Nobody cares." God, fuck you, bro. Like,
Oh my
these
god.
people are just dicks.
man.
Like,
Yeah.
They seem
Oh
to
my
like
god.
they seem to like offended, but I'm getting a few strays, and you're just getting fucking dogpiled on for some reason.
well, this guy
Yeah.
too says, when people say I find the good and the bad, I want them to do an entire video on the sequel trilogy. What the fuck? Like, why is it such a bad thing to say, you know what, this show sucks, but there's one good thing about it? Why do we have to hate everything
Yeah.
so indiscriminately? I just don't understand. It makes no sense. Like, these people, people
Yeah.
call me miserable because of how much stuff I don't like, and it's like, nah, you gotta come fucking talk to this guy. Like, God,
I'm kind. Yeah. Go ahead, Loomer.
I was just gonna say, you can find good stuff in the sequel trilogy. You've just gotta you've just gotta shovel the mountains of terrible and shitty ideas off the top of it. There are good ideas in the sequel trilogy, just yikes.
Yeah, very few and far between. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very rare that you can like say that something is completely 100% bad. I mean, I'm obviously a little bit. I was very angry with the Fallout show, and I actually do struggle to think of a good idea that's in it. But you can still say like, okay, that one shot has some good cinematography or something, or like, hey, the costume design's really good. Whatever. You could always give some small compliment to it. Yeah, but
for me, it's Adam
yeah.
Driver. I didn't like the character of Kylo Ren, but I'm glad that the Star Wars trilogy did something for his career. It definitely helped him out. Adam Driver's a fellow Marine,
Yeah.
good fucking dude. So yeah, they at least did that.
I'm glad he escaped it. I mean, fucking everyone else in that series has been
Poor Daisy
swallowed
Ridley.
whole.
She's never gonna get away from it.
Oh, no, I mean, she's not even. Yeah, I mean, Rey was obviously a girl boss character, but like as an actress, she's not really on the forefront of controversial statements or anything. So
She just
yeah,
sucks.
she doesn't seem like she really puts herself out there. Yeah, she's not like a great actress or anything, but yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that's just kind of it for her career. She's just fucking Rey Palpatine forever.
Dude, there must have been like people may have just deleted their comments on your videos. I was re-listening to a lot of that last night, and I was just, you were absolutely raking people across the coals in some of these comments. I guess they deleted them. It's like one dude was like,
I was
the ratings were really good and people seem to love it, and you're like, yeah, people love slop or something like that. And I'm like, oh shit, like
Oh yeah, I've been dealing with a lot of these people fucking. It's always the same fucking bullshit. I got so much of the same comment over and over again, with the same theme or whatever. Like, oh, at least we got a show. You guys can't be happy with anything. It's like, fuck off.
I
Yes,
wanted
I
I
can be
wanted
so
rain,
mad.
but you shit on me. Okay, so I guess I should be happy with that. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, like I'm just because you eat out of a fucking trough doesn't mean I have to. I like
Hey,
fine dining.
let that be told. Like for the people that are still listening, yes, we read every comment. We see everything.
Yeah, we do.
We're not one of those content creators that just post a video and let it go. No. So something you say in the comment section of this video, we might bring up. So let that be known.
Yeah, I got a little. I don't say I get really annoyed with people commenting. I just get kind of tired of trying to be as like passive. You know what I mean? Like if somebody says like, "Oh fuck you, you don't like the show I like," it's like, yeah, well, you like bad TV, so like what?
I just
That's
had
fine. I don't need to like it though.
I just had a guy, like I did a whole video on the whole Melissa Barrera controversy in Scream 7. And the last comment I answered, a guy came on, he was like, it had literally nothing to do with politics and everything to do with how bad the film was. It's like, you're literally on a video right now that shows you with evidence that it was about politics. What the fuck are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
God,
No matter what you do.
just like that guy when I was doing my
Yeah,
Fallout recaps, and I'm like, here's how they messed up based on the games, and the guy comes in and goes, no, they didn't, fuck you, and then that's it. It's like,
Yeah. I actually something shocked me recently. So in my new Fallout video, I referenced Chris Avalon, who was one of the writers of Fallout New Vegas. He had some controversy around him, and I just discovered this like as I was finishing up the video. Like I didn't actually have that much time before I was posting, and I just heard about it, that he had some sexual assault allegations against him that were
Oof.
proven false. Okay. But as a joke, like mostly as a joke, I was just like, I put in a little caption over the screen saying like, "Hey, I'm aware of the allegations. Don't yell at me," because I was just didn't want to hear all the fucking comments going like, "Oh, you quoted a fucking like, I can't even say the word, as an assaulter. I can't even, like, don't do that. I didn't want to hear all these people complaining about me referencing Chris Avalon. So I just put a little like, "Hey, I'm aware of the allegations. Just chill out. I'm whatever." But then people got mad at me for then putting that in. They like all the comments were like, "Fuck you. What do you mean the allegations were proven wrong?" Like they were calling me, I don't know, all this kind of accusing me of Me Too stuff or whatever. And I was like, I'm either I'm a right wing extremist or now I'm a leftist. Like, because I put a little joke saying, and I didn't even say, he was condemned or anything. And in the comment section, I was like, it seems like he's innocent. I'm not saying he's not. I was just making a joke, and yeah, people would not let it go. They were like, you had time to fix it, blah blah blah. And I'm like, hey man, I quoted him. I complimented his work for an hour. What else do you want me to do? Like, I'm not here condemning the man. I use him as a reference consistently.
well, there's this one guy. I guess I was reading. I was watching your Fallout video yesterday while I was doing some stuff around the house, and this guy says, "Don't bother watching this video, people. Just another shallow, brain dead YouTuber with toilet paper thin thoughts and arguments. Nothing to see here." And it's like, first of all, your name is Bass Playa, not player. It's with an A. So we're just going to immediately fucking disregard what you're saying. Secondly, are you actually going to approach any of the points made in the video? Like, you put out an
No, I
hour-long
know.
video with
Yeah.
documents, evidence, facts, the whole nine. And this guy's just like, nah, he's stupid. Don't listen to him. Fuck you. What?
Yeah. Yeah, I
None
mean,
of this stuff
it always
bothers us,
makes
by
me
the way,
laugh.
people. None of this stuff bothers us.
Yeah.
Especially, it does not. Most of the time, we're laughing about it because it's just hilarious when people respond to things. But it's just funny looking back on it. Like, just like, really? That's all you
Yeah.
got?
Well, last podcast, I fucking literally pissed myself reading one of the comments. Reading that comment about how you're an NPC or whatever fucking kills me. But yeah,
Fuck
it's
you.
what a dick. No, I know.
I'll remember that. Oh, I'm going to remember the. You're lucky I didn't get involved in that comment section of your last video.
Yeah. No, I
Matter of
know.
fact, I'm gonna
I
comment
know.
to this guy now. See,
Yeah.
brain dead YouTube with toilet paper thin. That's an insult to toilet paper. Enter.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh. I deserve that. I deserve it. Well, are you guys feeling good about our chat? Do you want to wrap it up?
I'm good. It's just not there's not a whole lot going on. I think what's the next conversation we're gonna do is what Oscars, I think.
That is coming up.
Yeah,
I think we
the
should probably
tens
talk
of
about the
people that still
Oscars.
watch that.
Yeah, for the yeah, exactly. Well, it'd be nice to go over like the films and see what. Obviously, nobody's watching and nobody cares, but it says a lot about what's going on in Hollywood, what they're wanting to promote, what the mindset
Do you
is.
even know
So
what's nominated? Like, do you want to know what the most nominated film right now is?
I know Sinners is.
Not
Is
Sinners.
it Sinners? It's
Well, Sinners is up
no.
there. Sinners is up there, but the front runner right now, which this is how to tell you where Hollywood sits with everything. The front runner right now is a film that lost a bare minimum of $100 million. One battle after another.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen that film, so I can't really comment on the quality of
Man,
it. But I know that
might as well call it a liberal call to action. Is what you might as well call it.
yeah. Yeah, I assume that film would get a lot of awards. I know Sinners is up there as well. Is that number 2?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one battle after another.
Probably is.
One battle after another was so divisive. I mean, I did a review on it that did pretty well. It's like the 4th or 5th most viewed video on my channel, but it got so divisive that people of a certain persuasion, on a certain side of the aisle, found my shorts and started attacking my daughter who was in them, to the point I had to remove the shorts off my channel. Yeah.
Damn.
Glad that film's a front runner. Yay.
Yeah, it's weird, the internet. That's always creepy. But yeah, well, so yeah, I think we'll cover the Oscars. We were talking in our Discord about doing maybe a throwback film. I would love to talk about Death Proof. I just rewatched it, loved the film, such a good movie, and it's one of those ones that's not talked about a lot, even for Tarantino fans. I know pretty much nobody who's seen it. It didn't do very well when it came out with the Planet Horror or whatever, Planet Terror.
Mm-hmm.
So in the Grindhouse. So yeah, it'd be great if we could watch something like that and maybe bring something up, because I think the Oscars is the 15th, so we have some time before it comes out.
Yeah, let's see here. When is the Oscars? The 15th? Yeah, it's 15th at 7 o'clock. Let's just hope someone gets slapped. That'd be great.
Yeah. Cool. Well, and if you guys, if anyone's stuck around this long to listen to us rant and rave about our fans in the comment sections and Hollywood and where we're at recently, if you have any ideas of what you guys want us to talk about, please let us know down in the comments section. We'll try to bring it up and maybe inspire us to cover some topics we haven't thought of before. So that'd be great. Get involved. Comment, like and subscribe.
Get in
like
the
everything.
Discord.
You're doing this professional exit. I'm over here losing my mind. So I'm sitting there thinking, I wonder if they're going to invite the Tourette's guy to the Oscars.
That'd be so funny.
Like, no, you
Oh,
keep that
man,
guy as far away from here as possible.
Yeah.
N-word 2 coming up.
I hope I hope there would be another group of people he offends. I hope he says something, another minority he goes after by accident.
Start screaming, I love
and they all
ice. I
freak.
love ice.
Yeah.
It's not a laughing matter,
Yeah.
okay? It's not. He has Tourette's. It's not a laughing matter. We're laughing at the fact of the fallout of everything that's going on. It's just so ridiculous.
Oh yeah, no, we're not laughing. Yeah, no, I'm more. Yeah, exactly. We're laughing at the people reacting to it, not him.
God.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you all for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.